I'm about to be completely vulnerable with you as I share with you 5 of the most unhinged things that I have done on my weight loss journey that actually worked. Now, I was 43 going on 44 when I started my weight loss journey, and I was at rock bottom. I was willing to do whatever it took to get the weight off, and I'm sure you can probably relate. But I found myself at 218 pounds, and some of these things that I did worked so well that I ended up losing 70 pounds in 9 months and 90 pounds overall. In fact, I lost so much belly fat from around my midsection that I ended up having a tummy tuck to have that loose skin removed because it was starting to impact my workouts. And let's start there with having a tummy tuck in my 40s, because I would have never imagined that I would go through with a plastic surgery procedure after I lost the weight. And I will tell you, it was never on my bingo card to do so. I was so committed to losing the fat. I just wanted to look better. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to be healthier. I wanted to feel healthier. And I just wanted to do whatever it took to get that weight off, not thinking that once I got the weight off, I would be stuck with a lot of loose skin. And so I lost the first 70 pounds. And as I became more active, that loose skin around my midsection just really started to impact my workouts. I remember watching a video of myself running on the treadmill, and every few seconds I was pulling up my compression tights, and I realized that my compression tights were falling down because that loose skin was so soft, it was so squishy that those compression tights had nothing to compress against around my midsection. And so I'm watching this video of myself pulling up my tights as I'm running on this treadmill every few seconds. And that was the video that made me go out and consult plastic surgeons about the potential to have it removed. Now, after those consultations, I still wasn't convinced that I wanted to have a tummy tuck. Like, I'm in my 40s. I don't want to have an elective procedure. I don't want to be put under. You know, I'm a little older. I'm more risk adverse now, and I don't want to be put under. And so I wasn't convinced that I was going to have the surgery at that point. Fast forward a couple of months, and I'm again watching myself work out. I am on the floor doing a plank where you have to plank and twist when I suddenly have to sit up, and I could see myself tucking that loose skin back into my compression pants. And I remember thinking to myself as I watched that video, this is ridiculous. I'm going to see the plastic surgeon again. And so that's exactly what I did. And what I will tell you is that having that tummy tuck was not only one of the best things I could have done on my weight loss journey, but I would put it up there at top 3 best decisions of my life. After the 6-week recovery period, I immediately went into a 20-week training block, training for my first marathon. I was in the best shape of my life, and I actually lost an additional 16 pounds on top of the 70 pounds that I lost before the tummy tuck during that marathon training block. And I was just so on top of the world. I could move easily. I felt good in my skin after having that tuck. Loose skin wasn't impacting my running anymore. I didn't have to worry about constantly pulling up my compression tights. Having that tummy tuck was the most unhinged thing I could possibly do on my weight loss journey. But what a difference it made, not only in my weight loss journey, but in life. Now, when it comes to my diet, I get asked a lot, what did you eat on your weight loss journey? And one of the things that I had to do on my weight loss journey was get very strategic about eating out. And the reason for that was because I ate out a lot. It was how I got to 218 pounds. But I decided that, you know what, I'm not going to be able to eat clean all the time because I'm not going to be able to prepare all of my foods at home all the time. So I have to be strategic when I eat out. What I discovered was that I could order one of two very specific meals from very specific places, and they were clean-ish enough that I could eat them on a regular basis and still stay within my target macro counts. Those two places were Chipotle and Chick-fil-A. From Chipotle, I would order the Build Your Own Kids meal. And with that kids meal, I would get chicken and white rice and corn and vegetables. And then with Chick-fil-A, I would order the chicken nuggets kids meal, and I would get 4 chicken nuggets. I would get a small fruit cup instead of the fries, and then I would get water instead of whatever the drink that comes with the kids meal. But that is what I ate on a very regular basis. So I had no problem sticking with this because I could find one or the other no matter where I went. And I call it a little unhinged because there were some times when I would actually eat Chipotle twice in a day for lunch and dinner. If I was out traveling somewhere and I needed to eat out, 3 meals a day, I was eating Chipotle lunch and dinner. Or I might eat Chipotle and Chick-fil-A. Or one day it might be Chick-fil-A and Chick-fil-A. But I was eating them on a regular basis. In fact, right now, I actually still eat the Chipotle kids meal maybe 2 to 3 times a week as part of my weight maintenance phase. It's chicken, so I'm getting protein, I'm getting vegetables, I'm getting carbs, and again, I can stay within my macro targets. Now, another thing that I like to do is I like to travel with my protein shakes. I like a specific type of protein shake. I have a routine, and I like to have that protein shake first thing in the morning. I also will use my protein shakes sometimes as snacks. Like if I'm on the go, if I'm traveling and, I want to be sure that I have something to snack on so that I'm not stopping at fast food or I'm not grabbing for the Snickers bar. I have my protein shakes with me. So I will carry them in my backpack, in my bag, and I just like to have them on hand. But where I probably take it to the extreme, and my family thinks I'm a little unhinged, is that I travel with my protein shakes through the airport. Now, if you know anything about flying, you know that it is very difficult to get a liquid through security. And so it always takes me an additional 5, sometimes 10 minutes to get through security because I am always traveling with my protein shakes. But what they told me to do and what the instructions that I follow is that I pack my protein shakes in a clear Ziploc bag and I present them to security when I go through screening. But what this then requires me to do is go through additional screenings, and sometimes this will add 5 to 10 minutes additional to my screening time because I am traveling with these protein shakes. And so my family's always like, oh my gosh, can't you just, buy your protein shakes when you get there? And the answer is no, because I don't want to take the risk that, I'm going to be stuck in the airport and now I got the munchies and now I don't have my protein shake with me. Or, we're going to get off the plane and we're going to be headed to the hotel and I'm, starving and I don't have that protein shake to sip on and now we got to stop at the fast food place. So no, I want to have my protein shakes with me at all times. And so that is what I do just to ensure that I have my protein shakes at all times. And that is, I just simply travel with them everywhere I go. Now, if you know my backstory, you know that I started my weight loss journey by following the 75 Hard Challenge. And that challenge in and of itself requires you to be a little unhinged if you're going to do it right. It is a discipline challenge. It is designed to force you to make sacrifices of certain things in order to complete the challenge. One of the tasks of that challenge is you have to drink a gallon of water a day. And if it sounds excessive, it is. I had to drink a gallon of water every day for 75 days. And I will tell you that that was so difficult for me to do because I wasn't used to drinking that much water. I wasn't even used to drinking half that amount of water. And now here I am having to figure out a way to drink a gallon of water a day in order to finish that challenge. And when I tell you, it was always a mental feat, it was always mental gymnastics, trying to figure out how am I going to get this water in every day. I had to start early, and I was just drinking that water all day long. And if you know anything about drinking water, you cannot drink a lot of water in a short amount of time. It will make you sick. And so in order to drink a gallon of water a day, you actually have to start early. You cannot wait to the very last minute and then down a gallon of water. Again, it will make you sick. In fact, I recorded some videos of myself where I was, on the challenge, and I was talking about drinking this water, and it was at night, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot go to bed until I drink this water. And it was just an obsession with making sure that I drank all of that water every single day so that I could finish the challenge in 75 days. And then what did I do after 75 days? I kept following the challenge. So I actually ended up drinking a gallon of water every day for 116 days straight. When I tell you that I wanted nothing more than to lose weight, I was willing to do whatever it took. And so that is what I did. Now, again, 1 gallon of water a day is excessive, and I don't recommend that anybody do it. And looking back, I think to myself, like, why? Like, how? But also looking back, I'm like, but you did it. It was a discipline challenge. I built the discipline that I needed in order to do it, and I got the results that I wanted because I was able to do so. Now, another component of the challenge that I had to complete every single day for 75 days was I had to work out twice a day, minimum 45 minutes each time. And the workouts had to be at least 3 hours apart. But what that meant was that I found myself having to walk at some of the oddest times and in some of the oddest places. I remember one time doing a 45-minute walk on the hotel treadmill at 1 a.m. because I had to catch a flight at 5 a.m., but I needed to get that first workout in first before I got on the plane. And then I got on the plane. I went from the West Coast to the East Coast. I got off the plane, and then I walked for 45 minutes in the airport parking lot because I had to get that second workout in, and the second workout had to be outdoors. So I started the day on the West Coast, 1 a.m. on the treadmill, and ended the day on the East Coast walking around the airport parking lot. I remember one time I was in the house and I needed to do an outdoor workout, and I got to doing something and got behind. Well, it started to storm and it started to rain, and here comes the thunder, and I had no choice. I had to walk out into the elements and get that 45-minute walk in. I had no choice but to do it if I didn't want to fail this challenge. And so I found myself just walking in some of the weirdest places at the weirdest times under the weirdest conditions, but I was able to persevere through those things because I wanted this weight loss so bad. There was just something else, and it wasn't even, just the weight loss. It was something else on the other side of the weight loss that was waiting for me, and I was willing to do whatever it took to get there. And once I got there, oh my gosh, it has been what a journey it has been for me. What a phenomenal feeling it has been for me to actually reach my goal and to be able to do some of the things that I wanted to do after losing the weight. But it took me doing all of these really weird, unhinged things in order to get there. And so if you're on your own weight loss journey, I just want to encourage you to pull whatever it takes from within to get it done, because I promise you, once you get to your goal, whatever that goal may be, you will be so amazed to look back and say, oh my gosh, the things that I did in order to get right here were well worth it. I certainly hope that my moment of vulnerability in sharing this has been helpful to you. If it has, take a moment and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't joined the Get Fit community yet, take a moment and hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you here as part of the community. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.